Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to do a NocBro podcast.
NocBro podcast style, yeah. So it's mostly, I'd say probably the most of it will probably be Walking Dead discussion stuff, but we pretty much have anything on the table. So we're just trying to open this up. So, I think one thing would be good to do is let us know in the comments certain topics that you would like us to discuss, and anything that you have questions on about the Walking Dead universe, even stuff that we've watched like Black Summer and things like that. But yeah, so
anything,
just anything really. So yeah, we're just kind of open this up. Josh has we're recording this on Sunday, and Josh has to get out with one of his sons to a game, so we just kind of want to try a couple of different things. I know that we still have to do I know that you guys a while back wanted us to do a ranking of our Walking Dead villains. We wanted to do a video of the comic versus show things that we liked, comic versus show things we didn't like.
Yeah, that one I was really excited about because, man, we are huge comic book fans. That's how we started in The Walking Dead. Maybe you remember those days going to the comic book shop? Dude. I mean, was it Wednesdays?
Every Wednesday was comic book day. Yeah, what was crazy is I don't remember how did we get into it? Because it was like you, me, and Justin. Justin is his brother.
Yeah, I started watching The Walking Dead, the show.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, this was. I'm a huge fan of either a TV series show or a movie that's based on written material, like a book.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
And so when I started watching The Walking Dead, I'm like, man, this is a comic book. Let me check this out. I liked comic books when I was a kid. Let me check this out, and I fell in love with it, and so then I brought you and my brother in. I'm like, you got to check this out, and you hated it at first. You didn't want it.
Yeah, so I remember when Walking Dead, when they announced, like, I remember hearing about it when it kind of was coming out, right? And I remember seeing it. It's crazy because I know I saw the trailer for the show, but it's like after a couple years, I was like, I couldn't remember.
You didn't even want anything to do with the comic book.
I didn't want to do with the comic book either. Yeah, because it was like, I knew of the show, and it was also the same thing with Game of Thrones. At first, I did not want to watch Game of Thrones. At first, I was like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to watch this. But in the end, I got into it, loved it. We did reactions for it. And of course, the last season sucked balls. But yeah, I remember, I was Googling it when he was mentioning, I was like, I don't know if I want to look at a comic books, with zombies. And it was like, ugh, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that turned me around was reading the prologue, or basically what Robert Kirkman wrote about what The Walking Dead is.
Was it on issue 1? It was on issue 1.
It was on issue 1. So I remember getting issue. Did I get? No, I didn't get issue 1. Of course,
you got a trade.
I got the trade paperback, which includes 6 issues.
Yeah.
So in kind of like the prologue, the message that Robert Kirkman says about about Walking Dead in general, that's what changed my mind. Is because he's like, look, this is not just about zombies. This is about people. This is about a story of a man named Rick Grimes, and he explained all that, and I was like, all right, let's get into this. And comic book readers know that yes, any new material takes time to get into it, because you're building the world, you're building the characters and the story. So when people say it started slow, everything starts slow because you have to build it. But once I got past that threshold, it entices you, it keeps you going, you keep reading, and once you break that, I call it, I don't know where it happens, but once you break kind of like this threshold, you're like, yes, I'm in. And I was in from that point,
pretty hardcore.
And I've never stopped.
Pretty hardcore. Like,
pretty hardcore,
from a comic book standpoint, like, we went full on. Now, we don't do comics anymore. Matter of fact, we're trying to offload some of our comics because honestly, like, they take up a lot of room. And so I've sold a lot. And speaking of that, so we got those cards.
Yeah.
Right?
From the Walking Dead Supply Drop box.
Yeah. So I sold mine. And when I sold mine, funny story, like, the person reached out to me and said, hey, do you have your other one, your Rick Grimes one? And I said, yeah. And he was like, and I said something along the lines of like, we're waiting to, or I hadn't opened the box yet.
Right. Yeah.
And he wanted to, had I opened the box yet? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you opened the box. You talking about for the card?
Yeah, but anyway, somewhere along the lines, like, we got to talking through eBay like the messaging, and he tells me that he's a subscriber of our channel because I mentioned that we opened it up on a channel, and he was like, "Oh, what's your channel name?" And I'm NocBro Nation, and he said, "That's amazing. I watch you guys." Anyway, I sent him a box because I gave him the card for free, yours actually, because he wanted yours, and threw in there a Rick Grimes pop.
Oh, cool.
And a trade paperback.
Oh yeah.
Just, I don't know if he's a comic book fan, but I wanted to throw that in there because honestly, it is, once you start reading the story, it's amazing. And what's really cool about it, to take this on to what we were going to talk about, is you start to see the differences if you've already seen the show, what they did differently in the source material.
Oh yeah. Huge stuff. We won't go over a ton now because we want to do those 2 videos of the differences that we like and didn't like. We've mentioned it in many other videos that we've done in the past. We will say like the one major difference a couple major differences in the comic of show is one is Carl Grimes, Andrea, however you guys like to say it. I have more of an English term. And God, who else was it? Well,
there were tons.
Well, basically Negan, in a sense.
Shane.
Kind of. Shane. Yeah, I mean, Carol. I mean, there's so many, and we'll go over them in other videos, but yeah.
Did I ever tell you, like, when I went to Vegas, and there's an area where you go to the pool, and they have a person waiting and letting people in and out of the pool area, at least in the hotel that I was in. I go there and the girl is reading a compendium of Walking Dead
so cool.
at her podium because I look
so
over
cool.
and I'm like, "Have you got to Negan yet?" And she's, because it was I think it was the first compendium, so I don't think she would have. But I was like, "Oh, you just wait."
Yeah,
like
you just wait.
Random girl just reading a Walking Dead compendium in Vegas.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah, guys, we went fully hard on the comics. Like, we were there every week. I mean, a lot of the stuff on the channel has been, and I've marked it private, but we were doing Walking Dead reviews. We were doing Star Wars comic reviews.
Please mark those private.
Yeah, they're private. Actually, some of our old Walking Dead stuff might still be unprivate just because it's the Walking Dead related. But the other comics that we've done, there were some good comics that we did that we thoroughly enjoyed. And back then, I mean, it was doing comics, on a channel was good for the time, because back then when we started, comics was big, and there were a lot of other channels doing comic reviews. There were a lot of people.
I'm sure there still are.
I'm sure there still are now, but there were a lot of comic guys, doing Walking Dead as well. So we'd bleed over their channels, our channels. People were like, "Oh yeah, I found you through another Walking Dead channel that reviews comics and stuff." So,
but outside of the Walking Dead, we met some really awesome people in that industry. Donnie Cates.
Oh my God,
who's an amazing writer.
We had a phone interview with him, and we were both so freaking nervous.
Oh God.
You can hear it in our voices.
I think we had maybe like 100 or 200 subscribers by then.
Yeah. And like, you wrote like 10 questions asked. I wrote questions. Some of our questions bled into each other because they were kind of the same thing, but we were asking him about, Redneck, and he was starting to work for Marvel.
I can't believe
Thanos.
we did that. Looking back at that
I
now,
honestly don't know how it happened.
I think he reached out to one of us. Like, did we call him? Did we get his phone number?
No, he reached out to us somehow on the channel when we were reviewing either Redneck or Baby Teeth.
No, it was God Country.
It was God Country.
Because it was about God Country.
Yes, it was about God. That was the main thing. So God Country, amazing little short series. Definitely check it out.
6 issues, guys. If you want an amazing story, it is absolutely breathtaking.
Now they were gonna make this into a movie, and it's dead in the water. I haven't heard anything about it for years.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So, he was writing for Image. He was writing a lot of great stuff, and then he got into doing Marvel. Like, he wrote this Thanos series, which was freaking sick. And then he skyrocketed over to Marvel. Like, he's kind of stopped doing, the stuff for Image, and he was getting so many deals to write on Marvel, which is great. But that interview was cool because we were asking him some great questions, and he's a cool freaking guy.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I had the chance to
we met him a couple times.
Yeah, we had a chance to meet him at one of the conventions, and he
No, you met him. I didn't.
Yeah, I met him, and so he recognized me, and any artist that's there they'll charge for
signature
or sketching.
Yep.
That's rightfully so. Like, that's where they get their money. That's, other streams. But he gave all of his stuff to me for free because he recognized me. Just an awesome guy all around.
Awesome guy. Yeah. We had some other guys that, we kept seeing at certain comic book conventions.
Hahn, right?
What's that?
Jeremy Hahn.
Yeah, he did some great stuff. Cullen Bunn. Oh my God. I still have this book that he has. He has like these crazy dark stories. And there's this book. I don't know if I gave it to you.
I got it. Yeah, it's back there somewhere, I think.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween, you read it around Halloween time, and it's really cool, like short story, but more like horror and things like that. Amazing writer, amazing thing. So, but yeah, we were so big into comics, and then we kind of shifted, like, let's start doing, reactions to Walking Dead. We started doing that. And then after kind of COVID really broke the comic book industry and a lot of other industries as well, but it really broke the comic book industry because there were series that some series have never concluded. They stopped doing them, or it took months or even a year to actually finish because they got behind on that, and then they started working on other projects like referencing Donny Cates and Redneck. That took a while to close. Then we had Outcast with Robert Kirkman stuff took forever to close. Oblivion Song. So. Yeah. And we were kind of getting out of it anyway because, it was a lot of time, it was a lot of money. But we kind of shifted our channel to do more reaction style and more kind of open discussion, kind of podcast kind of things. Yeah. And so I love where we're at now, but I do thoroughly thank a lot of those fans, and some of those fans, subscribers, are still with us today.
Yeah,
they're like, even I still see people asking us to do a comic book collection video. I'm like, yeah. See, I still have my Walking Dead comic collection, the first run. I want to complete the entire first run. I only need maybe a few of the high issues left. Like number 1 is very hard to find. It's very expensive, but. Yeah, we did comic book collection videos. We did videos of like the CGCs that we've gotten on very iconic issues, and I still have those. The stuff that I want to get rid of and sell is kind of previous issue runs that I don't need to keep in my collection. Yeah. Like I have Star Wars stuff in my collection, and I have Walking Dead stuff. Other ones, if I have like a CGC of it, I'll keep that. Yeah. But the entire run, I'll probably get rid of, and it's better. When you are selling those things, if you do have the entire run, that a lot of people may want individual issues, but if you can sell the entire run you're good.
Imagine shipping that.
Oh, dude.
That's where it becomes a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, the only major run that I have is Walking Dead. Yeah, now, I do have a lot of duplicates of it, so...
There was one
I have a
guy,
lot of duplicates of Walking Dead issues.
There was one guy on eBay that was selling an entire CGC run of Walking Dead.
Oh my! Wait,
that was back when we were in the thick of collecting.
What I think I remember seeing it. What was the CGC rankings for all of them?
Oh, I think it was 9.8.
Oh my God, dude!
Yeah, because when you're doing that and you have the money to do it, why wouldn't you do a 9.8?
Oh, for everything? Because that's like,
for those of you that don't know, the scale of CGC comic is 0 to
10.
Yeah.
0 to 10.
It's very rare that you're going to get a 10.
Very, very rare to get a 10. And if you do, they're expensive as hell.
I don't think I've seen one. I think I've seen a 9.9.
Yeah, I've seen 9.9s. That would be insane, dude. A 9.8 for the entire 193 issues. That's what The Walking Dead is.
Oh, well, when
back then
it was
150 around. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Comics were fun. I'm still getting a few things. That's because I'm trying to complete certain runs that I have, mostly Star Wars runs, and then the remaining Walking Dead issues that I need. And kind of what I was doing was getting I wanted issues 1 through 10 all CGC, not in raw form, but I wanted them all CGC, and then the rest are pretty much all raw form.
Dude, another thing that was fun was the conventions. Those
conventions are fun, dude. We need to go back to one.
I know we do. So we went to two. Was it 2? We went to 2 C2E2s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, in Chicago.
C2E2 is a major convention in Chicago.
Huge.
And yeah, we went to that 2 years in a row. I think we did.
Yeah.
Do you remember my brother got a tattoo?
Yeah.
He got a tattoo at the convention.
Well, what was it? It was the
stones.
It was the
infinity
the
stone.
infinity stones around his arm.
Around his arm.
I was thinking about getting a tattoo as well, and then I was like, no.
But it was hilarious because he's a big baby, and like when he's laying down and they get to the inner part,
underarm, yeah,
he was screaming in Tattoo Alley.
Yeah. I remember. Where did you take a video of him?
Yes, I did. I think I have it. Yeah, I think I have it.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I'm gonna have to pull that up and send it to the group chat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the conventions are fun. If you guys have been to conventions, let us know in the comments where you've been. But you've also been to conventions outside of us. I remember you went to what is it, PlanetCon down in Kansas City?
It was in Orlando.
Orlando?
Yeah. And so I used to travel a lot for work. And it lined up like several times where there was a convention in town and I would always see if there was when I was in town.
Yeah.
Orlando was a big one. I went to Denver for a wedding.
Yes.
That's where I met the actor who plays Jesus. And the actor who plays Herschel.
Oh yeah, you met.
I got to meet.
Scott,
who was an amazing
Scott Wilson, I think it was.
Amazing guy, just so freaking humble.
And wasn't it like maybe a year later he passed away? Yeah.
That was in I can't remember the city outside of Denver.
I don't know.
It's escaping me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, amazing times at those conventions.
Yeah, we in C2E2, we got to meet, God, I'm blanking on his name now, but we got to meet King Ezekiel. Got pictures with him. Yep. Now, there was another funny thing that happened in Chicago. So we were at C2E2, and the majority of the people at C2E2, yes, there are stars there. A lot of comic book people there, too, and that's one reason why we were going also. But there was a side convention. There was an actual Walking Dead convention going on in the same city. And we were pumped for it because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think, was there. I don't know if Norman Reedus was there. I thought there were two big stars. I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan was there. It may have been Norman Reedus. I don't remember.
Jadis was there.
Oh, my God. Jadis was there, too.
We know why.
And what was funny, though, is we go... So... The C2E2 convention it's in a very big convention center, but I think I
can't remember.
It's either in the convention center where the Blackhawks play, or it's just right next door. But a massive convention center, right? Actually, no, it's not a convention center where they play sports. It's just a convention center that they have.
Yeah.
But when we went to the Walking Dead convention, oh my God, this was like the smallest, cheapest venue I've ever seen. It was, but I understand why, because they didn't have a ton of people there. But unfortunately, when you put stars in there to meet and you want pictures and stuff, right? So you had barricades and areas for those stars, but then you have all the accessory stuff around it. So you have kiosks and people coming in. It was just so jammed in such a small space. You felt so confined, and because at C2E2, yes, there's small spaces, but it's just massive.
I didn't think it was done very well.
It wasn't a good convention.
Even the vendors there were just
it wasn't good.
It wasn't. Yeah.
The primary purpose of that one was a meet and greet, like pictures. Yeah.
You went there just to meet the stars. You didn't. I mean, sure, there was stuff to buy, but
it wasn't really made for it.
It wasn't. Yeah, not that big.
The lines were huge, like to meet Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Jadis, I believe Norman Reedus.
We didn't actually end up meeting anyone.
We didn't meet anybody. We were about to meet a very beautiful woman who a lot of people were like, oh, F her. She wasn't going to be doing anything in the series. So this was in what, season 4? Season 5, when Rick and them were in Alexandria. The blonde girl, who was kind of like
his love interest,
a slight love interest. She was with that guy Pete for a while. She was with this like real asshole named Pete.
I can't remember her character's name. I can't remember the actress's name.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she was a beautiful actress. We actually liked her. We thought it was maybe they were going to do like a different turn, because we knew that from the comics, Rick and Andrea got together, and we were kind of thinking, is she going to be like the new Andrea? Like they were kind of hinting to that, but in the end, it didn't work out that way. But But she didn't have many people in her line just because of the character. So we're like, well, we're not going to be trying to wait 5 hours to meet the other major characters. Here's another character in The Walking Dead. Let's go talk to her and find out her ideas. But then she was like on her lunch break or whatever, and we're like, yeah, we're not going to wait. But yeah, conventions are fun. Yeah. They really are.
I mean, it's just meeting the cosplayers too was fun. Yeah. I know that we have a small one here in Omaha that we've been to a couple of times. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We
even though it's in Iowa, technically,
we cosplayed for that as Negan and Morgan. Remember?
No, that was at
that was Ocon. Absolutely, it was at Ocon.
But we also did that for when we went to the comic book shop.
Yes, that after Ocon.
Did we do that? Okay, yeah, that's right. And we also cosplayed.
No, you're right. It was separate.
It was separate, yeah.
We did it at the comic book day.
Yeah.
And then we did it at Ocon. Yeah.
I also cosplayed at Ocon dressing up as Finn from Star Wars.
That's right.
Yeah. That was kind of a weak one. But yeah. I bought some cool stuff at the conventions, man, when I was looking, because mostly we were really looking for CGCs. That was one main thing that we were looking for.
We were trying to complete our Walking Dead run.
Yeah, we were looking for CGCs. We were looking for cool statues, like
it's not here.
The big Thanos statue. Yeah. So there's a big.
I let Channing put it up in his room.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah. So there's a big Thanos statue that we got. We got at CGC. What was also cool is that we also paid for VIP tickets. So in VIP, they allow you to. They have a separate room where they allow all of your VIP people to go up there and store your stuff, so you don't have to keep lugging it around everywhere. Yeah. And also, if you're traveling and you have suitcases, you're able to store it up there. And we actually did that because we were there for so many hours, and then we had to actually leave to go to go catch our flight from there. Yep. Because we were leaving. I think we were on Southwest, so we had to go
but we were there. Yeah. That was the final day. What was it? 3-day event.
3-day event.
Yeah. We were there all 3 days, all days, all day long, and then at night start drinking.
Oh yeah, because we're also staying at they're also at they have a hotel basically attached to the convention center, so we stayed right there. So we were just down in the bars, just chilling with people, talking with people, partying. It was hilarious.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was so fun. It was so fun. Yeah, we definitely need to go if not to Chicago or Kansas City or something, but we need to go at least back to Omaha.
Chicago.
Chicago.
It was just so well done.
Yeah. San Diego, I remember we talked about maybe going to San Diego, but San Diego is just massive. It's so expensive to get in. People are like, don't really go. I've heard New York Comic Cons. I bet New York would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. What time is it? Just want to make sure we're on.
We're good.
We're on a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, gosh, after comics, we started getting into, you said more reactions, and that was, what did we start with? Did we start with Walking Dead and then go into Game of Thrones?
We started with Walking Dead. We were doing Game of Thrones. We did Westworld. God. Remember Westworld, bro?
That took a different turn.
Oh my God.
I think it just could have been done so much better.
I never finished what was it? They only did 3 seasons, right?
They cut it.
Yeah, they cut it.
They canceled it.
Yeah. And then I heard rumors that they were gonna go outside of HBO with the same showrunner and try and finish it, but yeah.
It ended, spoiler alert, it ended with them getting back to the park. So you could tell, like, this was possibly maybe a last-ditch effort, like, hey, let's bring it back to its original form. That kind of, I'm guessing, is where they were going to go. But, man, that was so good.
First season was amazing. Yeah. First 2 seasons were amazing. It actually ripped your mind in half just because of the craziness that they did. And if you haven't seen Westworld, I'm sure you could. I'm sure it's still on HBO, but definitely check it out. First 2 seasons amazing. Third season, just because they were having problems. But I think maybe I watched a couple episodes in the 3rd season, and it was just like, I don't like this anymore. It's weird. But the first 2 seasons are amazing. Yeah, our Game of Thrones, I mean, we got into I don't even know what season 5 we got into it, or because it was around that time.
Yeah.
Season 5 or season 6, that's when we kind of started Game of Thrones.
And we did a final reaction to the final episode.
Yeah.
And got someone say something about my kid being in reaction. Remember that?
Oh yeah, dude. So like we were watching reactions. It's kind of before we had this kind of little studio, and we were watching it kind of upstairs
in a living room,
on a living room in a bigger screen, and so it really didn't work out well just because of lighting and microphone and all that. Because this was early on, and
was it Channing?
I thought it was Bright. Was it Channing or Bryce? No, Bryce.
How many years was that?
It would have been Channing then. Yeah.
How many years ago? 5?
5 or 6.
Then it could have been Bryson.
It could have been Bryson. He was very young, yeah. So it was during the final scene where Daenerys and Jon were,
I'm just laughing.
I don't know if they were kissing, but it was before she died, before he killed her, technically.
Before he stabbed her.
Now, you see in the background, because, we're getting the wide shot of us reacting, and you see possibly Bryson, his little boy, in the background, like coming because he was going to ask Daddy a question or get him for something. But I don't think like he would have been able to see what was going on. If it was going on, he's too young to know what the heck's going on, because they literally didn't show. They may have showed Jon like with the knife going in like this, but they didn't like show anything like him holding it in her.
But furthermore,
to show blood for like a kid or something.
But furthermore, we cut it.
We cut out of it for a second.
We stopped it.
Yeah, we stopped it because we
saw him.
We saw him. Yeah.
But what? So anyway, we had someone comment like how terrible of a father I was for allowing my son to watch Game of Thrones. What they don't know is, 1, we stopped it, but 2, if you would watch the video, I gated the hallway.
Yeah, you did.
So like I wouldn't let my kids come out into the living room to see it. Now, could they see it? Yes, but like. That's what the gate, like we noticed he was there. We stopped it. I think also with the height of the TV, the couch, us, his height, he wouldn't have been able to see it. But it's not like they showed the knife sticking out of her body and showing blood that a kid would see and freak out. No, he wasn't going to know what the heck's going on. But it's just the fact that someone would literally say that he is a bad father because of all they're getting is like 2 seconds of seeing a kid in the background, and they automatically assume something else. Yeah, like I set him down on the couch and I'm like, watch this knife go into this flesh.
God. That's what happens when you're online.
It's online, yeah. You're going to get things like that. We've gotten stuff like that over the years.
Oh my God.
Give a shit less.
Yeah, I mean, it's never come up, but like I've seen YouTubers actually, like they'll, every once in a while, they'll do a video and they'll actually go through.
And call people out.
Well, no, not call people out, but they'll go through their mean comments just to see what people are saying. Jesus. Like, it'd be fun for us to do it. I mean, like, I've seen a lot of it. A lot of it.
Well, you see it more than me because I'm not. I occasionally I will go through your guys' comments, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just my life outside of this is insane.
It's time, but yeah.
But yeah, dude, like
it's hilarious.
I could care less.
Yeah. Care less, because sometimes like I've even felt like early on I found myself responding to those, and it's like, well, I don't want to do that because they're gaslighting and I'm replying, so in a way they're like, I won, I got you mad, you're replying back. Yeah, that's what they want. They're just trolls and things like that. So
yeah, but I always believe the saying, someone's opinion of you does not have to be your reality.
Exactly.
Right? So yeah. You can comment all you want. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Our early reactions, man, were fun. They were interesting. As we're, any YouTuber, you start low, start slow, and you got to get money for equipment. You're trying to get a good microphone, lighting, and we've gone through many different iterations of this.
That's why I'm saying private those videos because, oh my God, dude.
Well, I still like some of the old videos of like our Walking Dead discussions, like even like the final issue that we did live and things like. There's just some funny people that'll just comment on that, and I'll say they're like, "Wow, this didn't age well." It's just like
Didn't I grow my hair out
a little bit? Yeah, we're upstairs at your table, nothing in the background. It's just a wall. Like, hey, we're not paying for like an additional studio that we actually go to.
This is my basement.
This is his house.
Yes.
So.
And
this isn't our day. This isn't our job. If it was our job, then we'd probably be in an actual studio. But no.
Then I'll take the keys away from the studio.
Exactly.
What's that skit? It's Dave Chappelle.
Oh, Dave Chappelle.
He's Puff Daddy.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
he keeps threatening to take the keys away from the studio.
This time I open up a studio. I want y'all to go down the street and give me sugar cookie.
That's right. He asked for a sugar cookie. It wasn't he on someone's shoulders?
Yeah, it's like security. Oh my god.
Yeah. So those early. That's why I asked him, like, please private those, because some of them are pretty embarrassing.
They are pretty embarrassing. But
you got to start somewhere. We don't do this for money. Absolutely not. We do this to hang out and have a good time.
I mean, we do get things are monetized, of course, because you pass that threshold, so you're able to monetize. But like, there's videos up. Some trailers with copyright issues. I mean, I feel bad for some of these reactors that do some of these things that that's their livelihood, that's their money. But there's certain studios for movies out there. If you even react to their trailer, it's demonetized. So either they put it up and they're like, all right, I'm not going to make money for this one. And even though if they're a big channel, they're going to get hundreds of thousands of views, they're just not getting money because those studios will immediately copyright it just for a trailer. They don't care.
Or they'll take your Facebook away.
They'll take your Facebook away, yeah.
That's why we don't have a Facebook anymore.
That's why we don't have Facebook anymore, yeah. So we were doing... It was during...
You were doing some illegal shit, bro.
Well, it was for Black Summer. Like, people were like, how can we watch this, uncut? So I was like, oh, I can actually upload the entire thing to Facebook, right? And we were fine for a while.
Yeah.
And then I got notified... But here's the thing. I was also doing that with Fear and Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The only alerts that I got was for Black Summer, not the others.
Was it Netflix then?
I think it was Netflix, yeah.
It had to be.
Yeah. And so I got notified by Facebook, but then they didn't give me enough time to actually take them down. And it was a short turnaround. They were like, and then they completely blocked it. They're like, your account's done. So, but I do know there's Patreon, but here's the thing, guys. I know Patreon's a good service. They do have a lot of perks, but because of our channel, Patreon's good for channels that actually do that for a living because they give perks. They push out a lot of content. They push out, Patreon only videos, only content. But the thing though is when you hear people say on Patreon, hey, if you want to watch our full uncut reaction, go to Patreon. Here's the catch that I didn't know about. You still cannot upload an entire episode or a movie. What they do is you would see just us in the video. That's the entire uncut version. What then you have to do is you have to then have a copy of the show or movie yourself, time it up, press play at the same time. So then you're watching the show on one screen and us on the other, trying to go back and forth.
Yeah.
That I couldn't do that if I was actually a person. I was like, I want it on one screen, but I do know that, because of copyright, you can't just upload an entire 2-hour movie on another website.
Yeah. And
people are paying to be on it.
Nothing against the channels that do Patreon. Nothing against,
it helps.
Patreon, the service itself.
Yeah, it helps them.
But I couldn't.
For us.
For me and you, I couldn't, in my own right, ask for someone to pay
a monthly fee
when we don't really do that much. I mean, we record once a week right now. I'm sure that'll change and it'll get better.
Yeah.
But we just don't pump out enough to subscribe to it. Doesn't YouTube do it too? I'm pretty sure they do. Look, we're YouTubers. We don't even know.
Yeah, YouTube
have a subscription model.
YouTuber has it a subscription model. Yeah, they do as well. But that's just the thing with reactions is I always used to see negative comments in the reactions like, why do you keep putting in so many cuts? Why do you keep putting blur in the background? It's like, oh my God,
they'll take the video down.
All I basically say is look at any other reactor that does this type of stuff, they will do the same thing. They will either show a circle, they'll put a blur. You cannot.
Aren't there some that put the full thing out there?
It's probably only out there for however long until it's caught.
Yeah.
But I have seen it, yeah. But it's just for copyright purposes. That's why sometimes in our videos where there's actual music, the music's gone or I replace the music with something else. Because if you play more than sometimes 10 to 30 seconds of music, it's copyrighted because it's copyrighted music. And that's why that's why a lot of even gamer YouTubers hate when they put actual copyright songs in gaming.
Oh, that's got to be terrible.
Because that's the thing. With a lot of gaming, they show the entire walkthrough of a game. They don't cut out a lot, and they have to mute it because there's copyright crap.
But I would assume even the music that's created for the game, in and of itself, could be copyrighted.
In itself, it could be, yeah.
Right?
They could copyright it,
yeah.
but most of them don't. But yeah,
I guess this turned into this morphed into a podcast of our evolution as a channel.
Yeah, it was a good start. It was actually a good start.
No, yeah. I mean, so,
yeah. So one thing I wanted, so kind of getting into the more of the Walking Dead discussion of it. One thing I've been seeing lately, I've seen it on a couple of my Facebook timelines. I did not realize the hate that people felt towards Lori Grimes.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Like, she is on people's high-ranked, most hated character lists.
Do you think it's the cheating thing?
So here's the thing. That's why I want to discuss it. So at the beginning, so of course Shane told Lori that Rick died, right? And if you look at the timeline, technically, Rick was only in a coma for around 4 to 5 weeks, maybe a little over a month. So the main thing of why people hate Lori is, A, if he was only in a coma for 4 weeks, yes, he's dead, but people feel like she then hopped on Shane very early. Or...
I'm sorry.
I know, I said hopped on. Or she may have already been cheating on Rick before that with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people think. They think, well, okay, she died. He died. She thinks that he's dead. So why not move on? Yeah, you're moving on with his best friend, which is fucked up. But why not move on? You know, if you think about any person, if your loved one in that situation died, how long would it take for you to move on to someone else? Right?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Right. I'm joking.
Right. But that's the thing, though, is like, do you think the theory is true that, okay, even though it was 5 weeks that Rick was technically gone and however long it, by the time it took him to finally get there, that she was maybe already cheating on him before that?
I mean, it doesnn't take long to do something like that.
We don't get any information on it, but that's what
this isn't something like, 2 weeks goes by and you're like, you could easily walk in the tent and just take care of business.
Yeah.
So it's not like, was it romantic? Was it love? Mm-hmm. Or was it out of necessity and desire?
Right.
I don't know. It's just, like me personally, and I could imagine the people that are pissed or that hate her would think the same way. Like, you're in a scenario where it's the end of the world. There's literally these things walking around eating you, mm-hmm. and you have a child mm-hmm. that probably realizes just lost his father too.
Right. Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Especially with his best friend.
Yeah, dude. Well, the other thing that people mentioned of like why they hate her is they felt that she was really an instigator between the beef between Rick and Shane. Now, of course, you saw her reaction when Rick was alive. She was like, holy shit, he's alive. You're going to get that reaction, right? But around the campfire, you kind of saw, Lori and Shane looking at each other like, yeah, this is over, right? And it did come up where she stood by Rick's side, and she
stood by Rick's side. She told Shane, this is over.
This is over. But one thing that people hated, though, was how dismissive and how upset she was after Rick killed Shane, because Rick told her, he brought me, like, I think he said he brought me, like, it was either him or me, because he brought me there to kill me, right? So and of course, after the whole situation that happened with Shane, where he almost assaulted her when they were in DC, because he's going crazy. So if she stood by Rick's side, Shane was trying to come up with plans, and Lori stepped in and was like, nope, listen to Rick. Rick is in charge, right? But then she gets mad at Rick because he killed Shane, even though I think he told her the situation. That's why a lot of people are mad. It's like, why are you getting pissed at Rick when Shane lured him out there to kill him?
Yeah.
But you have no affiliation with Shane anymore, but you're mad because he killed him just to survive. Like, there was just so many weird things. And their relationship after that, of course, in the prison, like leading up to her death, the relationship was strained.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it was not good. I actually didn't like it. I didn't like how Lori and Rick's relationship was towards the end.
I think that had a lot to do with how he reacted after she died. I mean, I don't think they truly got to, you know, resurrect their feelings and their relationship. I think it was just soured after the events of Shane, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. But do you think that, like, but did you feel that with Lori? Do you feel that she was kind of, I wouldn't say a gaslighter, but she kind of really, she had a hard time, I think, juggling, you know, knowing that she was with Shane, the baby in her belly is Shane's, her husband's back now, and maybe she was trying to juggle that, you know, not that she was showing affection to Shane at all, but she was trying to hide it. You know, it may have affected Rick and her's relationship because she was trying to hide it so much. Shane's trying to push into, trying to be the leader.
I don't have as much hate for her simply because that's a difficult situation to be in. You literally thought your husband was dead.
Yeah.
And regardless of how quick you reacted and went with Shane, like at the end of the day, you thought your husband was dead.
Right. That's why she was mad at Shane.
Yeah.
You told me he died.
Yeah. So, you know? Like, I mean, the only animosity that I would have towards her would be the stuff that happens after Rick comes back. Like, just being pissed at Rick for Shane. Like, no, like, you need to stick by your husband.
Right.
Because, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing. She had animosity towards him with many different situations. And it was just, that part was kind of weird. But, yeah, I found it amazing that, like, she's very high up people's lists that she's hated.
You think there's hate for her Skylar White character in the Breaking Bad, which you haven't seen, probably gets a lot more hate than Lori.
Skylar, his wife?
His wife.
Yeah.
She cheats on him.
Yeah.
He's doing horrible things. Like, you know.
She cheats on him because he's going to die, right?
Well, that was his excuse. I got to do the things I'm doing because I'm dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that character gets just as much hate.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, no, I get it. And look, she doesn't have to follow everything her husband does. Like, she is her own person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you slept with his best friend.
Yeah, that was a fucked up thing.
And regardless if you knew he was dead or not, like, once Rick comes back into the picture, and she did do that. She cut Shane off, but she needed to be more vocal about it outside of, and maybe she didn't want to be vocal about it because of, well, here's
everyone
did Carl
knew.
know?
I don't know if Carl knew, but everyone else in the group knew. So why not, make a public display of it or something. But I don't.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I stopped and said maybe not make it public because maybe Carl didn't know.
That's a good question. Whether if Carl knew, I would like to ask Chandler Riggs that. If maybe he did know, but then maybe they didn't want to put that into the story. But it'd be interesting to think from his perspective. Do you think Carl knew that him and his mom were getting it on?
I mean, how old was he? The character.
Carl was, in that first season, he looked
10?
maybe be like 10 to 12.
I mean, kids know more than you think.
Yeah. He'd probably think, well, he's like, wow, Mom and Shane have been out in the woods a while.
We're sleeping in the same tent. Why am I all alone in this tent?
Why is it when Shane says he has to go to the bathroom that he asks my mom to go with him, and they're gone for like 30 minutes? Maybe they're getting supplies.
Yeah, they're making runs.
Making runs, baby. Man, well, I will tell you one things that I absolutely hated, which was so stupid that the writers even thought of this, and I'm glad they didn't proceed with it any further than what it was the big old hand of cock Andrea grabbed of Shane.
Oh, God.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when
they had sex, didn't
remember
they?
when Andrea just grabbed his cock?
Didn't they do it in the car?
I don't know if they had
sex.
Yes,
they did, dude.
Did they have sex? They were getting it on, but I don't know if they went that far. But I think it's perceived that maybe they did.
Maybe it's perceived. I can't, guys, it's been so long.
That was so dumb.
Oh, stupid.
Shane and Andrea.
Stupid. You completely destroyed Andrea's character then.
Andrea started going with Shane's, like, dude.
Dude, she went with the governor.
That's true. Yeah. He likes to put heads in boxes. She likes that. Yeah,
that character got destroyed.
Yeah, we won't go too much into her because that's part of another video. But Andrea's character was one that we did not like because of the complete shift they did with her, and we've heard from the actress said as well, like she was signed on to do
8 seasons,
and they obliterated her. That was one comic book character that was completely different that the TV show utterly destroyed. So bad.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling about knowing what we got in the main series, of how The Walking Dead was, knowing what we got in Fear the Walking Dead, that, you know, the early parts of the series and towards the end, but how are you feeling about where they are right now with the spinoffs? I know we only have 2 technically, but how are you feeling about where we are with those, and what are you thinking they're missing something? We're missing the true nature of The Walking Dead. Do you think maybe they should come up with something new with brand new characters and not rely on actual characters that keeps the show alive?
Speaking about the franchise itself, like it feels like these spinoffs, just all truth, right? Is a way for them just to try and truck this thing along. It feels like that. They're good. They're okay. I mean, I think the top for me is Dead City, just because of the Negan aspect. And then the Daryl Dixon. Like those 2 are okay. And
then before that was The Ones Who Live, Dead City,
absolutely.
Daryl Dixon. But
you put Rick in there, and I'm going to choose that one every time.
But now we're left with 2.
Yeah. But some of the decisions like that were made, like in the Daryl Dixon stuff, like putting that girl in there at the last episode, didn't really make sense.
Killing Isabel.
Going into that tunnel, like it just, none of it made sense. It's like we did so good on, leading up to this, and then we get into this tunnel, and with this scene, it just didn't fit right.
And now they have to explain how they get to Mexico, because that tunnel they're actually going, or Spain, excuse me. Now they're actually, because that tunnel they're going to England.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go through that tunnel and go to England, how the hell do they get to Spain? But we'll figure that out.
Yeah. I just, I wish that there was some way to revive the original and get everyone back together and get one show again. I mean, don't get me wrong. The spinoffs are nice, and I love the spinoffs, but like, I guess we're all looking for, and I hate to keep talking about it, but that final reunion of Rick with a lot of our other characters. I mean, we're bringing other characters in as well that are really cool.
But they just don't last very long.
Yeah.
I would say, I do enjoy the spinoffs. I think they're great. What I do miss, and it's more probably nostalgia than anything else, is just think about the early first couple seasons of The Walking Dead, like seasons 1 through 4, 1 through 5. Think about the first 3 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, as you guys know, we love seeing things about the fall of, society, the fall of the world through these apocalyptic events. But what the great thing about what the early seasons did is that, you have these group of characters, they're together, they're on the road, they have to find somewhere to go, right? It's a constant struggle between walker, zombie, and human beings. With these spinoffs, it's now segregated. Now it's more dealing with, yes, of course, over time, there might be less walkers to deal with.
There should be,
in theory. They're dealing more with human stories and that type of aspect, not really relying on, okay, we got to be on the road. But you just miss some of that magical stuff that they had and the building that they had in the early seasons of both Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. Now, do I think that they could do it a completely new series, brand new characters, actors that, because if you think about it, a lot of these actors in The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, you had no idea who they were. These were kind of like their first things that they did, or maybe they did some previous things and you're like, oh, I recognize this person from something different, right? Could I think they could do a new show built in this world, whether it's based in the United States or based over in Europe or another country, without referencing the old, maybe you get tidbits of old information, sure. Like, maybe of this new show in the United States, like they'll walk by Terminus, or they'll walk by the Sanctuary, and like, they don't we don't see any of those old characters, but you get glimpses of
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, exactly. I don't know. I would like for them to try, but I don't know if it would hold water because
I just don't think it would.
They're new, but brand new.
Are you
characters.
talking about years into the apocalypse and starting fresh from that point, or starting from the fall?
I wouldn't mind a different aspect of the fall.
Yeah.
In our Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead universe, or maybe pick a certain timeline in between and start
That's
there.
why I loved Fear so much, is because they focused on the fall that first season
immediately.
And I loved the first season.
First season was so good.
I loved it.
First season was so good.
Yeah. And then after that, it felt...
Season
1 and 2 were good.
Season 2 were good. Season 3 was 50-50, but it was still good.
Yeah. But that's why I love season 1, is you get... And look, I don't think you're ever going to get that again now, because, again, we're... What? Are we 20 years in?
Well...
15?
At the end of the main series, we were about 13 years after the apocalypse. Daryl Dixon is still kind of within that time frame. The only one that jumped further was Dead City. Dead City is 5 years after the finale.
So 18 years.
Yeah, that's where their timeline is, which is crazy.
I wonder if Daryl's back.
Exactly. That's what's crazy about Dead City, is that it's 5 years after the finale.
And why wouldn't Maggie reference Rick?
Yeah, they don't want to do that. I know. They want to wait, but
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they can pick some type of timeline in between there.
It's just being that far along on this thing. It's hard, I would assume.
Do you think people would just be like, well, you're regurgitating old stuff?
Another thing.
Another thing about the fall.
And I've said this in plenty of other reactions that we've done, videos that we've talked about. I'm tired of the same old, here's a season, here's a villain, they kill some characters, ninja walkers. Like, it just feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. And that's the problem when you have a show that runs in a franchise that runs that long, I would assume. Yeah. It's hard to do new things.
Yeah, honestly, I think it'd be cool if they did something where it would, around about the fall of society, with the apocalypse. But yeah, in the first season, like, don't even throw in a villain. Just make it people trying to survive.
Yeah.
Trying to...
that's what Black Summer did.
Exactly. Trying to learn what's going on, figure out what's happening, try to survive, have others that come in, see, get the trust involved. Like, do we trust these people or whatnot? But don't have like a main villain.
I'm not saying that Black Summer didn't have a villain.
No, they did. They had many villains.
There were evil people. There was the military.
But that was the thing, though. They did specific stories,
correct,
chapters in that thing, and it wasn't. It's a little bit different because Walking Dead is based on iconic villains. There are iconic villains in that story.
Yeah.
So Fear the Walking Dead had none of that. They didn't need it because they were a spinoff technically, so they had to come up with their own villains. But that was the thing about, like, you don't have to have like an iconic villain take up an entire season or two. You can just have little evil people in between there. But I want to see more of people surviving. I want to see them scrounging for food, supplies, figuring out what's going on. Why are these people trying to eat me? And going through that aspect of it. I think that would be more entertaining for me.
Like
to start, and then you can maybe get into
some
stuff.
will argue like the Fear season with the ranch, right?
Season 3.
Was there a villain in that?
Well, it was the Troys.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was Troy.
No, I get it.
But
but it wasn't like this crazy. Like, the whole aspect of that was he was on land, that previously wasn't his.
Yeah.
And there's native people
involved,
trying to get that land back,
Yellowstone style. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yellowstone?
I should correct that. I've seen 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen everything up to season 5. I haven't watched season 5
So
yet.
for me, the second season was done so well that I'm like, I'm done. I've seen what I need to see.
No, keep going.
That's what saved.
No, keep going.
Rip, spoiler alert, Rip gets the farm, right? At the end of that, he gets the letter. John gives him...
It's a house.
But she says to him, this is all yours.
Yeah, but he's talking about the house, not the farm.
He's going to inherit that shit.
We don't know.
That's implied. Anyway.
No.
I was done.
Yeah. No, keep going.
No, you had it right
going.
there for me.
Keep going. It's fucking good. Keep going. It's good.
No, but like what? Just to go back to Fear, like or I don't know. Like could have been. Was it boring? Maybe.
What?
But
season 1?
No, 3 with the ranch.
Oh, 3.
Was 3 the ranch?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think you've mentioned this too, and we've kind of mentioned it. When you get to a place where you're able to settle down, it gets boring.
Yeah.
Because where's the threat?
Yeah.
You know, you're inside walls, you're protected, and you're not on the road like we used to have where where threats are all over the place. Exactly. Well, exactly. Yeah.
There were walls there and it got demolished.
Right. So that's the thing. And it's like, you know, should we go back to doing, you know, Tales of the Walking Dead? Tales was okay. When you have actors in there that people recognize, you get kind of a little invested, but it all comes about the story. And I know our most successful one that we enjoyed was with Alpha.
Yeah.
You know, we love seeing the origins of Alpha.
That shit was awesome.
And Samantha Morton, she's an amazing actress who kills it every single freaking time. That was a great one. The other ones, there were some cool ones, but like the one with Terry Crews, that was okay, but
it was fun.
It was fun, but that was just little. Those are like little short stories for me, you know. But if they try to do another series, I think it would be tough with new characters. But
it's tough because, like, I don't know. Or just to go back to Daryl Dixon and the final tunnel scene. Another thing, it just feels like they're treating the viewers like we're dumb or something. You know, like. I'll give you an example. Carol in the plane. We all freaking knew she wasn't in that seat.
Oh, yeah. And
you purposely are showing Ash.
You're just showing Ash and not showing the wide shot. We're like, yeah, she's not in there.
We all knew that.
Yeah, she's not in there.
You don't have to treat me like an idiot and show the camera with just Ash. And then all of a sudden, Carol's out of the plane.
Like, you really think that you're going to bring Melissa McBride back, which is what all the people wanted, which was what this show was originally intended to be, Daryl Dixon and Carol.
It's that
Carol was just going to get in the plane and dip out.
It's that shit that upsets the hell out. Like, it's just like, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Just give me the scene where Carol's like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going with Daryl and getting out of the plane.
They just had to make this little melodrama thing.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Know, he's doing the right thing, setting her away, but really then she's doing the right thing and staying behind.
It grinds my gears.
GDMF.
No, but you know, I'll continue watching just because, you know, hey, I like it. You know, I want to see where this thing goes.
It's in our blood.
Yeah.
Love The Walking Dead. You know, actually, you know, it'd be great. They should do like not that I want it because I'm tired of the Marvel universe.
What If?
They're alternate realities. I was going to mention What If. No, let's do an alternate version of The Walking Dead. Leave out Shane because there's a character who is both Rick Grimes and Shane combined. That's Rip from Yellowstone.
Really?
Imagine. Do you think Rip could be Rick?
Oh, yeah.
He's like Rick and Shane combined, dude. Yeah. That dude is a beast, bro.
I really got to watch that show.
Keep watching it, dude.
I'm telling you that, like I said, after season 2 and I just dropped, I'm like, this is perfect.
Keep going. It gets a little crazy around season 4 leading up to season 5 because Kevin Costner decided to leave.
What a shit show.
And you know the movie that he left to do?
What, bombed, didn't it?
Bombed. He went to do some Western style cowboy-ish type video or type movie, leaving Yellowstone.
Could one make
it bombed, bro.
Could one make the argument that you're essentially doing that in modern day with Yellowstone?
Yeah. Pretty much.
But is Yellowstone considered a modern day Western?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, continue it. No, it's good though. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to pick it back up.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I think we're probably going to be cutting it short here, or a little short.
No, I think this was
Josh has to get going here soon, but
really good first.
Think it's fun?
Yeah,
I think it's fun. Right. I've been watching. Here's the thing, guys. I've been watching so many podcasts. Like the one podcast I've been watching recently is Bad Friends with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Those guys are absolutely insane. What I love about their comedy, though, is like
It's subtle.
There's so many things where you cannot tell if they're being serious or if it's a bit. There's some things that you pick up on that you know it's a bit, but there's things like they're like so agitated and mad at each other, but it's a bit. But they do it so well to where like, I can't tell. Is Andrew really mad at Bobby? Like he's yelling at him, and then
they're both hilarious.
They're absolutely hilarious. Bobby Lee though, he has like. The way that he talks is hilarious. He's always asking. He's like, "Can I say something? Can I say something? Let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick." And then he also goes, yeah. And then he always says, "Right." So he says a couple words. Like he's telling his stories. Like, so I go to this place, right? And I go up here, right? And you know when I do this, right? Like,
what is crazy about that is, I've seen only clips. I haven't watched it as much as you have, and everything that you're explaining to me, he's done in every clip that I've watched.
He does it all. He does it all. Yeah, no, it's hilarious. Though their full episodes are absolutely.
Have you ever
hilarious.
seen Joey Diaz's Church of Joey or something? Doesn't he have like a podcast like that?
I'm not sure.
He will bring people onto his podcast.
So many podcasts out there.
And
Comedians,
one
actors,
of the like things that he does is he takes 100 milligram gummy.
Oh my
called
God.
the Star of Death.
Really?
Pops it in there and just has a good time. 100 milligrams, dude.
Oh, Joey Diaz is. I'm not the boxer.
No,
I'm thinking Joey Diaz from.
Is it Joey Diaz? Am I thinking? Am I saying
You
the wrong name?
You talking about the guy from Sopranos?
Joe Rogan's podcast. He's a comedian.
Oh, he's a comedian. Joey Diaz. And I was thinking of the big guy from.
I am completely probably getting this wrong.
I was thinking of the
Here,
big.
I'm going to show you a picture.
I was thinking of the big guy from that was on Sopranos. He's kind of a Hispanic guy, but yeah, he that's all he does is he talks about taking gummies.
Yeah, it's Joey Diaz.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
dude.
It's all he does. He takes like what 40 milligrams.
Dude, he'll 100
milligrams a day.
He'll pop 5 or 6 of them during this podcast.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's insane.
The dude just
So one time he brought on a comedian that had never really done gummies before, and gave him one of those 100.
Oh, dude, you
it's
took the whole thing.
It's on YouTube, and the guy, you could just see the progression. Like the guy, I forgot the comedian's name, but you'll have to check it out outside of this. Like he has a full on like
experience.
I'm perfectly fine. Oh shit, this isn't going well.
Yeah,
and he's like. This. He gets up in the middle of the podcast and says, I need to get some fresh air.
Yeah.
They never see him again.
Dude,
they never see him again.
Dude,
he drove home.
I would not even take 100 milligrams.
Dude, I wouldn't even take 2.
I would have to cut it. I'd have to slice it and be like, okay, 100 milligrams in a gummy. That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez, and that dude's just popping like 5 a day.
5 or 6 in one sitting.
I remember seeing him on Rogan. He mentioned like his tolerance. He's like, I'm up to like 300 milligrams a day or something like that.
He's a really awesome guy.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
His motivation, he'll come out with these motivational videos and he's like, all right, cocksuckers.
Yeah. Well, he's got that East Coast accent. Like,
get your fucking day started.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. God.
But I don't know the full story, but he's tragic childhood. Tragic. Like he discovered his mom murdered or some shit like that. Just terrible.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, this was fun. It's kind of
We'll
our
end
first.
on that.
We'll end on that. Leo, this is our first kind of little podcast discussion. Let us know in the comments of just some other topics you'd like us to discuss about. Once again, this is just more of an open forum. We'll be jumping around and things like that.
Obviously, we have no script. We'll just talk.
Yeah, we'll just talk.
Yep.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments your thoughts of anything that you want to discuss on the next one. Let us know if you do enjoy this format. If you'd like to see more of this, let us know. And we will see you guys in the next one. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're up.